Eugene, Oregon, a city renowned for its natural beauty, bustling university, and liberal politics. But beneath the downtown streets lies a very different Eugene. A subterranean network of passageways shrouded in secrecy. Now, for the first time, uncover the myths and witness the mysteries that lie behind locked doors.
And so without saying another word, he clambers up this air shaft and leaves me in the pitch black of this creepy dungeon-like place.
For over half a century, what lies beneath South Eugene High School has been the subject of conjecture from students and faculty alike.
I had heard of the mythical 600 hall a lot, the secret underground hallway itself that everybody speaks of but hardly anybody really knows about its true existence.
If you ever go to South, the halls on the first floor go from 1 to 500, and then there's an upstairs hall, which is called the 700 hall. So obviously it skips one. Some people have told me that it was a bomb shelter. Other people say that there are classrooms down there. Some people think it's just a basement like most buildings have.
I have done some extensive exploration underneath the South Eugene High School in the basement. It's really creepy, but it's pretty straightforward basement down there.
From what I heard, I thought it would be more like an actual school hallway with rooms and stuff, but it's basically just a gigantic underground crawl space that you can walk around in.
So the scariest moment of my life while adventuring in the basement was one of the first times that I went down there. Actually, no, it was the first time that I went down there. And so you have to imagine the basement, which is dark and submerged in water, and there are these pillars and it's grimy and we didn't have the lights on, and we realized that we couldn't go back up the stairs because we couldn't see through the door and we didn't know if someone was coming. And so he's like, oh, it's okay, I know a different way out. And so he starts leading me through this labyrinth of gross, grimy, watery stone and dark pipes and creepy broken rocks and stuff like that. And we finally get to this air shaft in the ceiling, and he's like, that's the way out. And I'm like, through the air shaft? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, here, I have to go up first. And he's gone. And I'm like, what? Oh my God, I'm freaking out. This is terrible. And finally he reaches down and lifts me back up into the light. But that was hands down the scariest moment of my life.
12 blocks north, the heart of downtown sits upon an elaborate network of vaults and tunnels stretching for miles beneath the city streets.
One of the things that people see and maybe don't know about is that, you'll see steam rising up out of the ground, and I think most people have no idea why that's happening in Eugene.
The answer is a network of underground steam heating lines, all of which lead here. The mammoth Eugene Water and Electric Board steam generation plant on the Willamette River.
We used to bring school groups in here, and I can show you the place where they'd open up the fire boxes. And hog fuel is just dropping into these huge fire boxes. There's just this inferno of flame in there, and kids would just be like, whoa, as these things opened up.
I'm the community education coordinator. So really anything about energy and water education is kind of my realm, with the community primarily.
It seems like some of the condenser water.
The scale of the plant is immense, with facilities spanning over 4 stories. And as John knows all too well, danger is an ever-present reality.
The high pressure superheated steam, you don't see anything. Makes it incredibly dangerous. It's so hot, it's that. And so there's this pinhole leak in this pipe. They would take a 2x4 and it was down this hole, and they would pass over the 2x4 over the leak. They just cut it just like a knife.
So people don't really even know it's there. They don't realize it's there. Like kids I talk to, they don't realize what it takes to get water to come out of your tap.
And now we're going to go around this way. I'll go first and knock the spiders down. So it's just a series of little caverns here that these are beam supports that pull in it. So right here is the wall, the floor of the reservoir. Here's your little center part. So right here is the dead center of that head house that we were in before, and this was the little storage area where they would put stuff for the bomb shelter stuff. Cans of water.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Wow. This would be quite the place to hole up for in a while.
It'd make a good wine cellar. There was one of the doors I told you about that we had to bolt up because people were trying to break in.
And break-ins are no small matter. The massive reservoir houses 15 million gallons of Eugene's drinking water. Any breach constitutes a public safety risk, mandating the draining of the reservoir and a full-scale federal investigation. Nevertheless, the spirit of exploration lives on.
Right now we're waiting for it to dry out since a lot of the tunnels are still really wet. But once it's dry, I plan on doing that a lot more this year.
Well, it adds an element of, oh shit, we can't get caught. And it's like a perfect setting for like a classic movie scene where you're hiding from the bad guys or like sneaking in where you're not supposed to go. It just adds to the fun of it.
Actually, kind of the more you know, then sometimes the more interesting it gets. You find out new things that you've never heard about before.
Well, it's off the beaten path. Like, most people never really think about going down into the drain tunnels and underneath buildings and whatnot.
You know, it's just that sort of the unknown that is intriguing to people. It is kind of part of the mystique of Eugene.